Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. During the summer, can you smell like you paid a ton of money while paying dirt cheap prices? Yes, you can.
Yes.
And today I'm going to be loading you down with a bunch of different options that can help you do just that. All of these are going to be linked down below. We're kicking it off with Arsh, which is it's a pretty good name. I'm pretty sure it's what a pirate would say if he's talking about his butt. I scientifically looked that up. So yeah, Arsh, this right here smells similar to L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé, which also smells similar to L'Homme Ideal Cologne, which also kind of smells similar to L'Homme Ideal Cologne Forte. You get the idea. They kind of all have a similarity to them. And the best part, it's cheap. That's the best part, because unfortunately Guerlain have a tendency to take their summertime flankers out back and pretend like it's the French Revolution, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, those fragrances, they get to be hard to find and the price goes up. And you would think there'd be more brands coming out with stuff like this. You'd think that they'd be looking at all those discontinued L'Homme Ideal fragrances and go, you know, man, people really like those and they just keep going away. Maybe we should do something about that. But then they go, nah, why would we do that? We can make another Comra type fragrance. That's a much better idea. So for now, if you want that L'Homme Ideal vibe on the cheap, get yourself some Arsh. Great creamy citrus and almond. It smells amazing. Just the right balance of fresh and sweet. Now listen, on this next one, we are going classy and cheap. After that, we'll get into some more, you know, standard, fresh, easy wearing summertime stuff, but we gotta get a little class in here, okay? Lalique White. So Lalique White smells a bit similar to PDM's Galloway, which is not at all one of the more hyped Parfums Marly fragrances out there, but this will have you smelling very similar to that for a much lower price. It's a Lalique. You may say, what does that mean? It's a Lalique. It means it's gonna be under 30 bucks at discounters, which this one is, and it's gonna smell classy and very high quality for that stupidly low price point. Now, in terms of the scent, there is a little citrus in here, but it's mainly aromatic and woody. So you're gonna have petitgrain in here, little touch of bergamot. You're gonna have pepper, nutmeg, cedar, and even tamarind as well. Now, it's not crazy loud. It's not gonna scream for attention, but it's gonna have you smelling like $1,000,000. Just super classy, buttoned up, refined, really nice for summer. Very different from your typical shower gel kind of vibe. And we're gonna keep that price low with Aristo up next. This one by Arabiyat Prestige. This smells similar to Ingenious Ginger by Goldfield and Banks. And for me, if we're talking about summertime, keeping the quality high, keeping that freshness locked in with that price point low, this is the version that you wanna get. Now, there are gonna be other versions of this fragrance out there that have more of a focus on the ginger, and those just don't work quite as well for me because the way the ginger hits in those is more abrasive. It's a little bit rougher around the edges. This one's smoother, easier to wear, and nice sweetness to it, but still fresh. So the main things you're gonna get from this one is a big dose of citrus off the top, a lot of orange in there, that ginger. That is, like I said, a little bit smoother, still fresh, nice touch of spice to it, sweet as well, and then vanilla as it dries down. So it works really well during the day or the evening. Also a good spring fragrance or fall. It is surprisingly stupid good. Now I do have some more classy ones in here, but no class for this next one, okay? Get that out of here. No classiness. Put that suit away until later, because we're going Nitro Red Dumont. Hype beast, hype monster. Talked about all the time. It is loud, okay? It's strong. So I am warning you right now, straight up, that Nitro Red is pretty strong. So if it's really hot, if it's humid, if you're around a lot of people and you spray this on like a monster, you're a psychopath.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
It's Invictus meets a little bit of Baccarat Rouge 540, so it has that bubblegum sweetness from Invictus or Invictus Aqua baked in. Now, all that said, it is an absolute monster at pulling attention and pulling compliments. That is why it has been talked about up and down from here until the end of time. But if we're honest with ourselves, if we look in the mirror and we're honest with ourselves, if you're looking for something cheap that is fresh and sweet, that you can wear spring, summer, fall, and winter because it's really loud, one of the best things you can get, even for a certified Invictus hater. I love this one. Artisan Pure, Varvatos. So John Varvatos in general puts out fragrances that typically follow these rules. Not always, but most of the time. A, pretty good quality. B, got some classiness to them. C, really cheap at discounters. D, crappy performance. That's kind of the book on Varvatos. Now, that's not all of the releases. You know, some of them are maybe gonna be higher quality than others. Some are gonna last longer than others, but that's kind of the stereotype that they have.
You have no power here.
And this one follows most of those stereotypes. It is really affordable at discounters. I think an absolute steal. I think the bottle looks fantastic. I love the way this stuff smells. It's gonna hit you with a big dose of citrus off the top, but it's not a rindy citrus. It's more a clean, classy citrus. It has more in common almost with white florals than it does like a full-on biting tart citrus. It could even remind you of like Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino or Neroli Portofino Forte, kind of right in that wheelhouse, and a lot of times under 30 bucks. I think it is a great buy for summer, but if you're a younger guy looking for something a little bit sweeter, a little bit louder, that's where, you know, something like this or this comes into play. All right, let's go with one that is a little bit more under the radar, at least nowadays. It is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct. So I've talked about First Instinct Extreme a little bit more than this one, but the OG still gets the job done, especially for the price point. I will say though, the Extreme version, that one may hit harder for more people, especially if you're looking for something that has a little more push to it. That being said, this one right here opens up with melon. It also has gin, so like a gin tonic kind of vibe. Also has a little bit of a fresh spiciness to it, kind of an ozonic vibe when you spray it on as well. It is sweet, fresh, fruity, with like a stripped back kind of aromatic, almost minerality to it in the background. That one right there is just a super easy day-to-day, you know, jack of all trades kind of fragrance. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it casually, you can wear it kind of just kicking around town. Doesn't cost all that much. Nobody's really wearing it nowadays. And it is almost like a forgotten line from Abercrombie & Fitch, which I know you may hear Abercrombie & Fitch and think, Abercrombie & Fitch sucks, but they have had good fragrances over the years. I mean, Fierce, one of the biggest of all time. They're just kind of a weird company. It's like if they put some focus in, they can come out with stuff that's actually pretty solid, that can hang with a lot of bigger designer names out there, but a lot of times they don't feel like they want to do that, or it doesn't seem like it. So they just crap stuff out, and some of it ends up being absolutely terrible, and a lot of stuff that's actually decent falls by the wayside because so much of the stuff sucks that it pulls down the other things. All right, I want to go with another mall brand up next. So this is 78 Vintage Green Banana Republic. So yeah, Banana Republic, they do have some fragrances that are pretty good. This one about 35 bucks nowadays. You have green notes in here, you have fig, you have tea, bit of citrus, vetiver, and musk. So it's gonna be obviously a green fragrance. It's right there in the name. It smells a bit like an Hermes fragrance, so you're gonna kind of get those vibes. So obviously that means it's gonna be a little less in your face, a little less aggressive, smoothed out, really well done. But if that's not your vibe, you could also go with this one, Neroli Woods, which this is gonna be a little bit more kind of like in that Artisan Pure sort of style, you know? Clean white florals, clean stripped back woods, classy, soapy, that kind of thing, but still really well done. The next one is under the radar and it smells amazing when it's hot out. Before that one though, the codes. These are also in the description. You can copy and paste the codes from there to use in multiple different websites to save money. So got codes for Fragflex, for JOMASHOP, for Gift Express, and more. If you're looking for cheap fragrances, you can use those codes to make them even cheaper. Again, they are in the description if you want to copy and paste from down there. The next scent,
Nexa Immortal.
kind of a cool bottle. It's got this like pearlescent finish to it, which is kind of cool. Reminds me of all the racing games that I've played over the years. And it's like you can go in and make custom paints, and they always have these pearlescent finishes that are super tacky. I'm like, yes, that is how my car will look. I would never drive that in real life, but I will make that my car right now in this game. So this one right here is kind of interesting. It is mainly Greenlee, PDM Greenlee. So it's like that scent profile, but make it a little bit more of almost tropical fresh. And you can think of it as taking Greenlee and mixing it with Light Blue for Women by Dolce & Gabbana, which is gonna sound weird to you, but that fragrance actually smells really similar to Versace Mano Fraiche. So if it's easier for you, you could just think of it as Greenlee mixed with a little bit of Versace Mano Fraiche. And hybridized clone fragrances is like the hot thing right now. I mean, this one kind of is like that as well, but that is really, really popular right now. So you could just think of this as that. Basically a fresher tropical Greenlee mixed with Mano Fresh. The next one's kind of a classic at this point, Turathi Blue by Afnan. This is one of the go-to inexpensive summertime fragrances if you're looking to smell like you spent a lot of money, and it kind of helps you out with that because you can lie and say that you're wearing the fragrance that it smells similar to. And that one is expensive, so it's a win-win. And that fragrance is, of course, Bulgari's Tiger. Also a little bit similar to Vibrato by Suspiro, but Tiger, just roll with that one. So you're gonna get hit with a big blast of citrus off the top with this one, just a monstrous blast. I love citrus, so it doesn't bother me at all. It's not really rindy, so it is more palatable for pretty much anybody. Also have woody notes in there, musk, amber as well. Great day-to-day fragrance during the summertime, good performance as well. With the next one, man, I just wanna get basic. Just get standard, clean, fresh summertime vibes. That's pretty much all it's doing. It's not trying to be really loud or ultra soapy or a big blast of citrus or anything. This is just keeping it standard. It's Mercedes-Benz Select Day. This is that type of fragrance that is just trying to be aromatic, fresh, clean, simple, easy to wear. You can get it for about 30 bucks. No breakdown, keeps things, like I said, simple. Basically you have aquatic notes, you have citrus in there, but it's not at all, the type of citrus you're gonna find in here or in here. Is it like just a fresh out of the shower, lightly sea salty, aquatic scent? Yes, that is exactly what it is. If you have smelled a lot of fragrances, you'll probably smell this one and think, there's nothing to it, there's nothing in there that's really, impressing me. But surprisingly, people in general think it smells very, very nice. You can wear it whenever you want, and it's just one of those ones you don't have to think about, just easy. All right, back to telling people you're wearing something way more expensive. This is Lions Club Valar. This is by Armaf. This smells similar to Sedley. So to an extent, this one's also gonna give you that, out of the shower kind of feeling to it. A good amount of mint off the top with this, citrus as well, aromatic notes also. It does have this little metal piece that you have to kind of get right in the perfect spot there. Alongside that mint and citrus, there's also a little bit of incense in here. You have amber as it dries down. You have aromatic notes, as I said before, at least I think I did. And a classic, clean, masculine lavender. You can't go wrong with it. Spring, fall, summer, during the day, that stuff, you can wear it every single day. I wanna get classy again. Let's do it. Moustache Eau de Toilette. Everybody knows Moustache Eau de Parfum, that's the popular one, smells like YSL Tuxedo. This one smells more similar to, or more similarly to, Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette. So that's gonna have that throwback, classy, masculine feel to it. Might make you wanna start twirling your mustache. It is a little bit smoother than Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette, especially off the top. It still has lemon in there, but the lemon is not quite as sharp as it is in the Dior. This one has more of a toned down, slightly sweeter take on the citrus note. Also got lavender in here, you have oak moss, you've got neroli. Do not buy this if you're a younger guy. Unless you very much enjoy classier, classic men's fragrances, I don't think you're gonna like it. But if you're a middle-aged guy and up, and you want something that has that throwback authority to it, you can roll with that on the cheap. Morpheus up next by Elixir. When you hear the name, do you think Morpheus from The Matrix? Do you think it's Morphin Time, like the Power Rangers? Or do you think about the Morpheus that it's actually named after? So this is similar to a fragrance you may have heard of before called Imagination, which, yeah, there are so many imagination style fragrances nowadays. They never stop. And as is the case with most imagination style fragrances, it smells pretty darn good. Pretty nice. So this one has ginger, it has neroli, it's got citrus, it has tea, a little added spicy pop to it, but still extremely fresh, nice and sweet as well. And the performance is fantastic. Also, this stuff absolutely killer if you want to smell like you spent way more than you did. Haramain up next. Artisan de Haramain. Extrait de parfum. Bottle is blue. What could it be? Great atomizer, by the way. You gotta praise the atomizers every time. When you get a good atomizer, you're gonna be like, thank you. This one is gonna give you God of Fire style vibes. So that mango sort of tropical sweetness, that comes through very clearly here. The fruit that's in here, really, really well done. The sweetness is balanced out well. It has a little floral touch along the edges of the scent. As it dries down, you get more of like a tonka, ambery sort of sweetness that comes out. Absolutely one of the better God of Fire alternatives out there, but the problem with this one is, I think it came out a little bit late. At least for me, when I finally saw it and bought it, at that point, a lot of other brands had already put out God of Fire alternatives, so it kind of fell by the wayside a little bit, but it's right there with them. It's really good. All right, we gotta finish with the classy one. Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir. This is the Eau de Toilette. I think a lot of people would not think of this automatically as a summertime scent, kind of like Lalique White. You know, a lot of people may not think of that one automatically as a summertime type fragrance, but you can absolutely wear this one during the summer. This one is woody, musky, spicy a little bit, kind of similar to Cartier's Declaration, but it has more of a fresh woodiness to it, whereas the Cartier has more of like a classic style to it. This is more for probably middle-aged guys and up, looking for a potential signature scent, daily wear type of scent that's not gonna be overworn by a lot of other people, that's gonna have an air of sophistication to it. That's really what this is. And also a quick shout out to Dunhill Amalfi Citrus. These Dunhill fragrances you can get very cheap a lot of times. This is one of them, and the quality much higher than you would expect. It is a little bit similar to Artisan Pure, so like, these two do have overlap, and this one is gonna have a little more punch to it, a little more push to it. So like I said, could remind you of Neroli Portofino, also Mandarino di Amalfi, stuff like that, by Tom Ford. So basically you could think of this as like your discount Tom Ford that, like I said, is gonna have a little more projection, a little more longevity compared to this, but this is gonna cost probably a little more than this, but wanted to bring this up. So there we go, guys. There are some cheap summertime fragrances that are gonna have you smelling much more expensive. People don't need to know you didn't pay too much. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.